And so the study began. I was a young teacher. Interestingly enough, the tradition of Putul is a very insular tradition. It is called the Gotra, and the teachers and the masters in that tradition have been doing it since immemorial time. And the family is called Pals. They are Pals. And Pals are excellent sculptors, and they are also prolific potters. So this is the interesting tradition, Bengali tradition, is that these great masters of beautiful forms, traditional forms, of various deities, are most of the time, they make useful clay utensils for the people. This is, majority of their work is centers around that. And then a number of times in the year, when it's time for a particular celebration, traditional celebration, which is usually lasts a couple of weeks. So prior to that, these incredible, beautiful dioramas are created. These scenes of a particular deity and the pastime of that deity. So the work began, and the first thing that became very powerfully clear is that the apprenticeship program, what we call apprenticeship program, what in Bengali is called Shishya, is a very powerful program of deconstruction of the artistic ego that has been built up, and the learning process is very honest and very humbling and very effective. We spend most of our early days simply watching the teacher, and between observing the teacher, there were many chores that had to be executed, including cleaning the studio, bringing the water, cleaning the clay, bringing the clay, finding the clay, knowing how to identify different types of clay, cleaning it, preparing it for the teacher, and then afterwards cleaning the studio and tidying things up. It was a lot of work and took a lot of time. So finally, after almost a year of study, I had a chance to miraculously see one of these original exhibitions commissioned by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, the guru of Prabhupada, actually touring. It came to Calcutta. Can you imagine that this delicate sculpture based on straw and unfired clay had survived to that day? That was most impressive. And the second impressive thing was the effect that it had on the masses of people that I saw that assembled to see this exhibition, ordinary people that were so moved by everything they saw. The wonderful situation that Srila Prabhupada had created for us to make it possible to learn the secrets of the Putul tradition, which were indeed secrets because the Pals were a very insular group. It's really a dynasty, it's a family, and no one outside the family was privileged to learn, to receive the secrets. And the secrets were truly secret. There were certain techniques and approaches to creating lifelike manifestations, lifelike sculptures, which were polychromed in different ways. And it only became possible because the actual teacher that Prabhupada had commissioned was probably the first ever individual who came from outside the family. He was actually a son of a rickshawala, as I recall. In that society, considered to be, rather low on the level of social status. But he had such a passion that he actually learned, and it was accepted, I guess, adopted into the Pao family, and he was the one who was willing to pass it on and to teach.